Hi, my name is Robert W. Smith, and welcome to my home. I'm here today to answer a question that came in by email, and it came from Maya Welsh, who's a clarinet player in the Ellsworth, Wisconsin Middle School Band. Hi, Maya, and hi to all of your friends in the band. Maya, you sent me some really great questions, so let me just quickly address those one by one. You and your band, you're playing the Great Locomotive Chase. You wanted to know what my favorite thing about that Locomotive Chase, the composition is. I got to tell you, from a musical standpoint, my favorite section is Measure 19. Measure 19 forces the band, particularly at the middle school level, to have to watch and trust that conductor. And there's a fancy word, it's called metric modulation, that takes place during that section at 19 that I think is really particularly wonderfully fun to play and great learning. So I really like that. The other fascinating thing for me about the Great Locomotive Chase is the excitement of the music, but yet it's tied to United States history and the actual story that took place as part of the Civil War. I find that really, really fascinating. That particular area and section is not too far from where I live. It's starts in Atlanta and works its way up into Ringgold, Georgia, and that's literally just about 2 hours from where I'm at right now. So I find that really, really fascinating. I really like it. You want to know how I came up with the whistles and the train effects and the whistles. If you look at the old steam engines, that could be a steamboat, it could be a steam locomotive. They actually used the steam and they used a series of pipes, and oftentimes it was 3 pipes of different lengths that would create that little triad there. And so when you're sitting there and we're looking at the flutes, which are the same type of steel pipes, it would just became a natural to go ahead and make that the train whistle sound. So I think that works really well. Plus the train, when it moves down the tracks, there's a thing called the Doppler effect. If you study physics and physics of sound, the Doppler effect is pretty fascinating. And so flutes have the ability to roll in and out and bend seamlessly that pitch, which makes that very realistic. So I thought it was a natural choice. You wanted to know a little bit about how I decide what everybody plays in the piece and trying to make it sound good. Obviously, the timbre, the individual type of tone quality that comes out of the instrument is very, very, very important. At the same time, trying to make sure that when you're writing for students, making sure that the shall we call it the level of difficulty matches what they're going through at that very specific time. Understanding development of young musicians and trying to write something that is going to be challenging yet attainable. So that's really kind of the thought process that goes into that. Now, you also wanted to know whether there's a tie clearly between the Great Locomotive Chase and the Great Steamboat Race. I wrote the Great Locomotive Chase first. I'm a great student of history, and I had this opportunity to write for the Tapp Middle School Band in Atlanta, Georgia, and wrote the piece and really, really enjoyed it. I had a friend of mine who actually is my college band director. His name's Dr. John M. Long, and he heard that particular piece and he said, you know, Robert, you should consider doing a follow-up. Go read about the Great Steamboat Race that happened just after the Civil War. I did. I was fascinated, and it seemed like a natural tie. So I really thank my friend Dr. John M. Long for that suggestion. That worked out really, really nicely. And for you, somebody who performs the piece, it gives you an opportunity to learn some skills in one piece and then apply it in a different way in a similar, separate but similar type of environment. And I think that's really great, a great learning and performance opportunity for you. Your final question, I had to admit, I read it and I chuckled. You know, you played a lot of my works and you're wondering why I always give the clarinets a really easy and boring part. Well, I'm sorry it's boring. Some of the things, if you take something like The Tempest, okay, when we sit there with the clarinets playing bom, ba, ba, bom, ba, 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 on that G concert, on that A, you know, I'm trying to get them up, getting ready to start the process of moving over the register change and getting them very comfortable playing in that particular register. The clarinets also, below that register change, also are some of the most versatile instruments that we have in the band. In the lower register, particularly as we get down to the shallow register, young players can play beautifully. The sound, that wooden sound of the clarinet is absolutely awesome. So I use them in very unique ways. In Locomotive Chase, there's a little ostinato pattern. Ostinato being a repeated figure that happens over and over and over again. Well, the clarinets can play that really easily and can be very effective in doing that. So for you, I understand it might be boring, but in the grand scheme of things, hopefully it makes the music just a little bit more exciting. I hope this has answered your questions. I wish you and your band the best. Please give your director my best wishes, and to everybody there in the Ellsworth Middle School Band, I wish you a wonderful spring concert season.